Thank you for joining us and welcome to Modern UC Without the Complexity, introducing AscendOne. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll discuss how business communications have evolved, where legacy platforms continue to introduce cost and complexity, and how modern unified communications approach can be better to support today's organizations. Before we begin, I'm going to cover just a few housekeeping items. First of all, please submit any questions that you may have throughout today's presentation using the Q&A feature at the top of your screen. All questions will be directed there. We'll answer as many as possible after the presentation concludes. Any questions that we are unable to get to, we will follow up with you through the email you used to register for the webinar. So with that, I'll hand it over to Chris Ford, VP of Product, to introduce himself and get started.
Thanks, Katie. Let's get started. So yes, I'm Chris Ford, VP of Product here at First Communications. I'm responsible for our product roadmap, partner ecosystem expansion, ensuring that solutions we deliver help modernize how our customers communicate and collaborate every day. To set the stage, I'd like to briefly talk about who FirstComm is and why our customers and business partners choose to work with us. So FirstComm has been in business for more than 25 years, serving 7,000 plus customers across the US. We've grown by continually evolving our product suite and our support organizations to meet changing customers' demands. What really makes FirstComm stand out is our people. Our average employee tenure is around 10 years, which is actually pretty rare. That longevity translates to deep expertise and a team that truly cares about getting it right for our customers. A service that never sleeps, in a time when many companies are shifting towards like AI bots as the first line of defense, FirstComm still prioritizes real human interaction. Our 24/7 support teams sit in Akron and Chicago, not offshore, and our customers and business partners consistently tell us that this makes a difference when their business is on the line. So our product lineup covers a wide range of solutions to help customers upgrade from fragmented or legacy systems into modern communications platforms. We offer a broad portfolio of services. So let me focus on a few key areas. First, Microsoft Teams enablement. We specialize in making Teams direct routing simple and approachable. Customers can manage their own Teams PBX if they choose, but we also offer professional services designed to deploy, maintain call flows, auto attendance, call queues, and the overall voice experience within Microsoft Teams. Second, POTS replacements. As traditional lines, as traditional copper lines continue to be retired, we provide reliable alternatives for critical services such as your elevators, your alarms, and emergency lines. And third, we had this recently about 7 months ago where we released this product, is Fusion One. So, this is our latest kind of SD-WAN offering, which includes a dedicated 5G wireless connection without overages or data caps. So it's really designed to deliver resilient connectivity at an accessible price point, helping organizations maintain business continuity when their primary connection is unavailable. So, again, and our focus is always the same, right? Make it easy for customers to modernize their communications, stay secure, stay in service, and get the support they need from a single trusted provider. So with that context, let's look at why many organizations are moving away from traditional phone systems. Traditional phone systems often carry a higher cost than organizations expect. Aging hardware, ongoing maintenance, and the need for infrastructure upgrades all contribute to that expense. Beyond the cost, like legacy platforms struggle to keep pace with innovation. Capabilities like AI-driven insights, analytics, advanced automation are difficult, if not impossible, to integrate into older systems. These systems are also typically limited to voice and tied to a physical office. So, which makes it very difficult supporting hybrid and remote work more complex than it needs to be. And finally, once you've purchased a hardware-based platform, improvement cycles are slow. Meaningful enhancements often require replacing equipment, and this could happen in between 3 to 6 years. I always look at it very similar to like your cell phones, right? Although they do come out every year nowadays, but that typical cycle for something for the next best is typically 3 to 6 years, where it's overall you're going to have to upgrade a system to support the new software that's going to be on it. So this leads us to a better alternative, right? And this is what we're here for this conversation, AscendOne. So AscendOne is designed to deliver a modern UCaaS experience without unnecessary complexity. It's going to bring enterprise-grade communications into a single unified platform, reducing app fatigue and simplifying both the end user and IT management experience. Obviously, it's also backed by our FirstComm's 24/7 support model, so customers have a trusted partner before, during, and after the deployment. So what we did was we have basically two product offerings we wanted to go to market with. The first one, we're going to discuss in a second, but AscendOne in general is available, right, with these two options, depending on how your organization wants to operate. So we offer AscendOne Pro and AscendOne Teams Pro. Basically, the biggest difference with the two will go in the details, but obviously one's more supporting into a Teams environment, and the other one is completely separate, agnostic from both teams itself. So the AscendOne Pro is a complete UCaaS collaboration suite delivered through a single application. Okay, it includes meetings, messaging, voice, SMS, call recording, AI recap, and traditional contact center capabilities. And you're not basically you're doing this without relying on Microsoft, Zoom, or WebEx, right? So it's really ideal for organizations looking to consolidate multiple communication tools into one platform. Second will be, as I mentioned a second ago, was the AscendOne Teams Pro licensing. And it's really designed for organizations that live in Microsoft Teams. So it embeds basically a full PBX feature set and that contact center experience directly inside of the Teams application through a side-loaded embedded app, right? And so what the whole point of this is, you're able to do all this while avoiding the need for an additional Microsoft Teams license. So let's look at what users actually get from a day-to-day experience on the Ascend Pro license. So with this, this is a lot to take in, right? But let me simplify it for everyone here. While the slide actually is it's visually dense, the takeaway is simple, right? One application, one pane of glass. So, make some of my top points, highlights on here. Obviously, users have access to full call handling, call history, call recording, the AI-driven transcription and summaries, all in that single interface across the desktop or a web browser. So built-in sentiment indicators allow employees or supervisors to quickly identify positive or negative interactions without listening to every recording. So obviously, we'll do a summarization in it, like most applications will do. You'll also have your full, which is included, you'll have your full transcription that you can also obviously take it wherever you wanted to put it into your own LLM or whatever preference you prefer to use. And it has this sentiment basically indicator, which I find it pretty interesting, where you would have a customer, let's say you're working with someone, a customer that could be slightly upset, specifically off of keywords, right? Unhappy, not paying, you're cutting my services off. Just, you can basically tell it's an irate customer. And what this whole point of this product, what I'm referring to, the sentiment indicators, is it kind of gives you a neutral, happy, or frown face. Obviously, if you're looking at everything from high level, you can go through all the frowny faces pretty quick and then go in more of those details. Whereas before, typically, traditional way is listening to every call recording, trying to figure that out. So anyway, that's one of the few talking points I wanted to kind of cover on that one. It also has SMS and archiving are also included. So out of the gate, organizations receive 30 days of archiving and 90 days of call recording retention, right? With the ability to extend archiving up to 10 years to support compliance requirements. And again, the archiving component that's built in it captures all the call history, any SMS messages made, all obviously the call recordings. So those are the kind of key pieces that you can basically keep on that retention, as well as, again, expand it out to 10 years for compliance. So AI plays a major role here, right? So let's spend a moment on how that value shows up. AscendOne includes all AI capabilities such as call meetings, summaries, transcription, and again, at no additional cost within those pro licenses. So this isn't an add-on fee that you're paying. It's all included in it, right? You can download your transcription, and then of course you can always, upload them into your own preferred LLMs, right, of choice at no additional cost. Whereas Microsoft has its Copilot, right? But that's always going to be additional cost. In general, everyone typically can go into ChatGPT and do searching and things, but at the end of the day, you're recording the call and you're absolutely getting all that transcription back for you to take it and do as you see fit if you wanted to, build your own recap and things. And again, it does have its own embedded recap within it. Looking ahead in Q1, there will be an AI receptionist agent capability, and it's planned as an add-on service. But it will be enabling organizations to provide more intelligent call handling, like integrating with calendars and internal knowledge-based resources. So it's kind of like how a lot of people will be doing the transcription piece inside the AI modules that you're creating. This will be a full-on voice interactive where people can call in, a customer can call in and basically have a specific questions, right? And you have a highly intelligent AI bot. That doesn't sound obviously, something from 1985, right? But you have that full-fledged of experience, and of course, all the knowledge-based things that you can now refer to. So again, looking forward to see that coming out here. Probably it's going to be in Q1, I would say, probably middle towards the end. All right, so let's focus specific on the Teams embedded experience, right? And so this was the other AscendOne for Teams that we're going to talk about now. So AscendOne for Teams is delivered as a side-loaded application within the Microsoft Teams, right? And supports single sign-on using the Microsoft identities. So it provides real-time presence, contact integration, and calendar awareness while delivering a full experience of that PBX without requirements of additional Microsoft phone licenses. So here are 4 key reasons like customers choose this embedded app, right, or approach. First, a seamless single application experience that eliminates app switching from user experience, right? It also helps simplify IT management from having to manage multiple applications. Second, reliability, right, and business continuity. So even if Microsoft services are disrupted, users can continue operating through the web application or a physical phone. It's actually pretty huge. I mean, there's been times that I know over the years where Azure or Office 365 individuals can't sign in or sign out, right, or technically sign in. And if all those phones functionality are routing through Azure, you don't have access. You can't make those or receive those phone calls. You could probably call forward always, right? But your outbound and inbound business are kind of like held up a bit, right? Whereas this, you can easily, if you lose that connectivity or any type of layer of IT related issues within the Microsoft ecosystem, you have a complete backup solution at your hands. Third, advanced archiving options that can scale up again. They can scale up to 10 years for retentions for compliance requirements. And again, that for me is kind of big because a lot of times, yes, I guess you can get your own S3 storage servers and things like that, but having kind of one single pane of glass, all that information, you don't have to worry about where these files are at. This is an additional option that you can have, especially for those compliance needs. And fourth, FirstComm's 24/7 US-based support, with redundant network operation centers that we have supporting customers nationwide. So I'm going to go over a couple slides from a visual standpoint. And as I showed you earlier, this one, we talked about the Ascend Pro license, kind of what's all inclusive in it. This one will cover the AscendOne Teams piece. Okay. So let me touch base on a few things here. This slide will illustrate basically, how responsibilities are divided between native Teams features and the embedded application. Okay. So obviously we're going to focus on the core Microsoft Teams functions that are in purple, such as internal chat, meetings, and file sharing. And file sharing, right? Those are your native features that you guys are probably familiar with, OneDrive and whatnot. Within the Ascend Teams application, so as you can see, it's basically a side-loaded app that you'll see inside that Teams environment, which these features will all be recognized here in blue, right? So what you're basically getting, you gain SMS, right? You're getting the voicemail, call recordings, the management, along with traditional call center features like agent login, supervisor monitoring, and wall boards. So again, that's all included in these pro licenses. Yeah, as mentioned in the slide above, organizations can utilize the included call center features, but you can also scale it a little bit further, okay? And where I'm going to go with this is that, so a reminder, the embedded experience includes traditional call center functionality, such as the queuing, monitoring, supervisor tools, right, within the Ascend Pro licenses. But, for organizations with more advanced needs, additional omni-channel contact center options are available, right? They'll support SMS queues, email queues, the ability to call back, right? If the customers don't want to wait on the line, they get the option to opt out and automatically call them out. And a deeper AI integration, right? All within the same platform. That's what I keep reiterating. It's just under one pane of glass. So this brings us to a broader role, like how AI now plays in modern communications. AI is really no longer as optional, right? It's becoming a core differentiator. So organizations adopting modern AI communications, they're going to be better positioned to improve the efficiency and enhance customer engagement, as well as reducing employee burnout. We also, as I mentioned before, the omni-channel component of our contact center. That offering really focused the shifts from simply measuring wait times to understanding customer sentiment and overall experience. So what does that mean? And I think we all start to see a traditional or a common theme, especially when we talk about what AI is really doing in the call into the contact center world. Typically, I think a lot of businesses, we originally would focus on staffing purposes. We look at how long is a customer waiting in that queue? Do I have the staff needed? Do I have enough agents signed in? And you have these specific metrics that you're looking at, where now it seems the tradition is, at least the transition that I'm starting to see and hear, is outside of that is the customer experience, right? Happy customers will end up retaining longer, that you just going to retain them, obviously, right? So you're now looking at different ways or you're evaluating things slightly different. And that's what AI is able to do, because you're able to capture these things, either the call recordings, but you're able to summarize it and give an educated opinion on where this call is going to go. And that's what's happening within the contact center piece. So now agents or supervisors can handle, they can tackle a lot quicker on some of these customers that are upset, taking it over, assisting the agent. You'll also be able to assist the agents themselves. They can actually have a better experience because they can see already the sentiment of that conversation, how it's going in real time, right? And they'll know immediately how to basically change their tone a bit. So, I think these are great tools that are now obviously are available, but it's making the experience from both the employees, the staff, as well as the overall the customer. So, to kind of summarize things on the AI component, what's available, here's some of the capabilities that are part of the platform itself today, right? They include the sentiment analysis, the automated summaries, performance scoring. And that's actually pretty interesting. The performance scoring I like because, again, outside of the happy face, the frown face of that experience, it actually will give you a scoring number, right? 100 obviously being super great, but typically these are a lot of manual things that we would have to do in the past and just basically say, okay, I'm going to give this employee or this agent a score of whatever, right? Based off of a few things that you're doing. This is automatic, right? And so that's for me, I think from the time and the staffing that's being able to, that you would need to do that, you're able to kind of like streamline this now with all these type of capabilities. The virtual assistant functionality, as mentioned before, the AI receptionist agent is going to be available here in Q1 here pretty soon. So, the goal is faster insight and better decision making without requiring staff to manually review, every interaction. So when combined these capabilities, we create a true single pane of glass experience. So within this, again, slide, very, very dense, looking at this thing, but this is, again, what you would be able to see without not just having the UCaaS piece that we discussed earlier, but the cloud contact center enablement that we're now, that omni-channel piece, right? That's what we're demonstrating here. So this view basically represents the operational value, right, of AscendOne with that cloud contact center, like calls, recording, the insights, performance metrics, the accessible, all this is accessible in like one place, right? So you're basically enabling like teams to respond more effectively and more efficiently. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, there's a scoring system capabilities on it. So you have all this data that you can kind of look at, evaluate, and make a pretty quick decision just based off of some of this analysis versus usually having to then go back, analyze everything, and then maybe take a few hours. Could be taking days. It depends. This stuff is real time, and all just at the touch, right? It's just instant. So.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like a live demonstration of AscendOne or AscendOne Teams, or just would like to have a deeper discussion, please either contact your account team or you can scan the QR code on the screen. That's firstcomm.com/AscendOne, and that will get you in touch with the FirstComm sales team. So again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.